Close your eyes. No, seriously, close them, por favor. Now, remember the best enchiladas of your life. Maybe they were red or green. Chicken, steak or cheese. Cheddar, queso añejo, or cotija. Vegan even. As part of a combo plate or by themselves. Rolled up or stacked like pancakes, the way they eat them in Arizona and New Mexico. Swimming in Tex-Mex chili gravy, or simply folded over, Michoacan style. With or without onions. Whatever style they were, I'm sure they were delicious and comforting and real bueno. Okay, open your eyes. My mom's enchiladas beat all of y'all's combined. They're so good. Mommy would make a fresh enchilada sauce from guajillo chiles that didn't scorch your tongue so much as envelop them in a loving fire. She'd keep the sauce simmering on the stove, lightly fry the corn tortillas in a separate pan, then dunk them in the sauce, sprinkle some cheese in the tortilla, roll it up, y listo. Mommy would slap my hand if I tried to grab them fresh from the tray, mostly because she knew I'd burn both my delicate fingers and my unprepared tongue. I'd usually eat 5 enchiladas at a time with some sour cream, no need for rice or beans. They were just the slightest bit crispy and real saucy. Sometimes I would eat them cold, straight from the fridge, like the most delicious savory popsicle ever invented. So much better than cold pizza, and I love cold pizza. My family would eat enchiladas about every other week. Mommy would make them 50 at a time, because that's how fast we'd eat them. It didn't matter if she was tired from work when I was growing up or fatigued from childcare in her later years. She'd do them, and she'd always do them with amor. I miss them so much. I can never eat them again. My mother passed away in late April from ovarian cancer. I never got her recipe, even though I know where to find it. In the hundreds of messages of condolences that I've received, there was one that resonated the most, both for the hope it presented and because it's a testament to my mom. It came from my cousin Sammy. He's one of the few primos from my mom's side of the family that doesn't live in Orange County, where I'm from. It's a cool place. He's up in Oregon. I haven't seen much of him ever since he moved there about 25 years ago, but we always keep in touch. Weeks before my mom passed, Sammy sent my siblings and I his most precious memory of her via Facebook. It involved his ex of all people. She was some white girl that caused a huge scandal in our family when Sammy began to date her because, well, she was a white girl. He was the first of our cousins who even dared to try that. My aunt shunned the gabacha, even though she was carrying Sammy's son and they were in love. I only have one memory of the woman. She dived headfirst into our family swimming pool during a party, and all the tias tut-tutted about that because she was 7 months pregnant. She and Sammy had 2 boys, moved to Oregon, and soon separated. I never thought about her again until Sammy brought her up in his Facebook message. He remembered my anecdotes, but countered it with a better one. My mom was the only tia that didn't shun his then girlfriend. And as part of trying to make her feel welcome, my mom taught her how to make enchiladas. I must have blocked out that memory from my mind, but Sammy remembers it vividly. How mommy invited him and his girlfriend to our house. How she taught her how to roll the enchiladas tight enough so that the cheese wouldn't spill out of each end, but also loose enough so that the cheese didn't completely melt. And how they all enjoyed a nice dinner and chat afterwards. And how my mom's sisters tried to reprimand mommy for showing some white girl a good enchilada recipe. My mom didn't care. If she could bring happiness to a beloved nephew with a simple, delicious gesture, she'd do it. After Sam and his ex separated, he told me, she continued to make my mom's enchiladas for their sons, even though they had no connection with their dad for nearly 15 years. She cooked them not only because they were sabrosas, but because mommy's kindness, her kind gesture, stuck with her forever. And anytime she made them, Sammy's ex always made sure to tell her sons that it wasn't her recipe. It was enchiladas of their tia Luz, a woman they had never met. In many ways, those enchiladas were the only connection they had to their Mexican heritage. And their allure was so strong that when they reunited with Sammy when they were teens, one of the first people his sons visited was their tia Luz. After Sammy told my siblings and I this extraordinary tale, I asked him to get back the recipe. Of course, come on. Sammy and his ex hadn't talked in a while, but he promised to ask her. It was a miracle. My mother's recipe would not be lost. I'd be able to learn it and enjoy her enchiladas for the rest of my life. And I'd have a great story to share about the healing powers of food. I wish the story had a happy ending. Sammy wasn't able to get the recipe from his ex. It'll stay with her wherever she is. But there's a proverbial silver lining. My aunts and cousins from both sides of the family have sent me enchiladas nearly every week since my mom passed. Their flavor is almost as robust as those of my mom, and good enough so that my family gobbles them up within days. My aunts and cousins don't know about Sammy's story, though. It's almost as if my mother is nudging them from the afterlife to take care of her family. But she's also nudged me into action. In a couple of weeks, my grandmother from my dad's side is going to teach me her enchilada recipe. I've never cooked them in my life. I'd say wish me luck. But I know my mommy will be there in the kitchen with me. She'll guide the hands of her nerdy son and remind him that while memories are eternal, recipes are fleeting. So record them while you can. Gracias. Thank you.